Hello, my name is Thomas Fucaloro, and we'll be looking at a poem today by Charles Bukowski in his book, The Last Night of the Earth Poems. The name of the poem we'll be looking at is Dinosauria, We. Born like this, into this, as the chalk faces smile, as Miss Dath laughs, as the elevators break, as political landscapes dissolve, as the supermarket bag boy holds a college degree, as the oily fish spit out their oily prey, as the sun is masked. We are born like this, into these carefully mad wars, into the sight of broken factory windows of emptiness, into bars where people no longer speak to each other, into fistfights that end as shootings and knifings. Born into this, into hospitals which are so expensive that it's cheaper to die, into lawyers who charge so much it's cheaper to plead guilty, into a country where the jails are full and the madhouses closed, into a place where the masses elevate fools into rich heroes. Born into this, walking and living through this, dying because of this, muted because of this, castrated, debauched, disinherited because of this, fooled by this, used by this, pissed on by this, made crazy and sick by this, made violent, made inhuman by this. The heart is blackened, the fingers reach for the throat, the gun, the knife, the bomb. The fingers reach toward an unresponsive God. The fingers reach for the bottle, the pill, the powder. We are born into this sorrowful deadliness. We are born into a government 60 years in debt that soon will be unable to even pay the interest on that debt, and the banks will burn, money will be useless, there will be open and unpunished murder in the streets, it will be guns and roving mobs, land will be useless, food will become a diminishing return, nuclear power will be taken over by the many, explosions will continually shake the earth, radiated robot men will stalk each other, the rich and the chosen will watch from space platforms, Dante's Inferno will be made to look like a children's playground, the sun will not be seen and it will always be night, trees will die, all vegetation will die, radiated men will eat the flesh of radiated men, the sea will be poison, the lakes and rivers will vanish, rain will be the new gold, the rotting bodies of men and animals will stink in the dark wind, the last few survivors will be overtaken by new and hideous diseases, and the space platforms will be destroyed by attrition, the petering out of supplies, the natural effect of general decay, and there will be the most beautiful silence never heard. Born out of that, the sun still hidden there, awaiting the next chapter. So yeah, that was a poem by Charles Bukowski. Sorry about the mess-ups. I love this poem. I think it's a brilliant poem. It's so simplistic in its language and its building. It starts off so slow, born like this, into this, and then it starts off with the first stanza as the chalk faces smile, as Miss Dath laughs, as, so on. He uses repetition so much in his beginning pronouns in almost each stanza that it's really a beautiful thing. It adds a rhythm to it, and it adds, it keeps crescendoing higher and higher and higher until obviously you get to that end where it's just this softness. It's just like, it's all dark throughout, and there's almost like a little hope at the end of the rainbow at the end, but we'll talk about the end in a second. Also want to talk about how he keeps using born like this, into this, throughout this whole thing. Something I love to do in poems is kind of make up a chorus in them. I think it's very handy, especially if you're doing performance poetry. It really adds something to the texture. You can use it in so many different ways. In this, he kind of uses the born like this into this, you know, the details change, not so much his refrain or chorus, but there are ones where you can like change the chorus or the refrain and the meaning throughout for it to mean something different. I hope that made sense. Something else that's great about this poem too, and now we'll talk about the ending of it, is just, again, that little hope at the end of the rainbow, how it's such a wretched poem. It's such a, you know, it's a rite of passage going through this poem. You kind of go through being a vessel of this anger, but then just what comes out of it is this like little ray, and I love that. It's like the little light that you can see hidden like under a door. It's a great thing. I definitely suggest you checking this book out and checking that poem out.
You got the book out?
Yes, and that's the book.
There we go.
This was the last book that he ever published while he was alive. The dead Charles Bukowski has actually published many books after. But, and some sort of little prompt based off of this poem is for you to try writing something that has a refrain or like a chorus, something that builds up to something. You know, you don't have to do the light at the end of the tunnel kind of ending, but it's a really good exercise because you start learning how to change meanings of phrases, because you don't want to keep using that phrase over and over again, and you kind of learn how to manipulate language to your advantage, which is such a huge thing for poetry. And that's pretty much it. That would be my prompt, and you should really, yes, Charles Bukowski. That is it.